It's amazing, isn't it?
All right. Thank you everyone for bearing with us there. Technical difficulties. I have so much old teacher videos saved, and it was saying I had no free storage. So I got to go delete all my teacher stuff in here. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I had to double check that for a second. Thank you all for hopping on. I know this was like super last minute. My name is Larissa. I am a master director here with Green Compass. And I'm just going to share a little bit about my story and my journey and how I got started with Green Compass. So about 2.5 years ago, I had my second baby. And I always say that second baby just like throws you for a whirlwind. The first one was great. And the second one, oh boy, I don't know what happened to me, but I started to really honestly just kind of spiral. After my first daughter, I was great. I had no postpartum issues. But after the second, I just kind of lost myself. I've always been a very easygoing person. It's funny, my friends actually like used to laugh at me because I was just like always just so easygoing and carefree and like never cared about anything. And they'd always be like, how are you like this? I was like, I don't know. I just don't let anything bother me. But after that second baby, everything bothered me. And I would like stay up late at night. I would think about my insane to-do list and just, I mean, it'd be like 2 a.m. and I had went to bed upstairs at like 10, but I was just thinking of like all the crazy stuff that I had to do. And then 2020 hit and we were entering a pandemic. So my world was like really rocked. Also at that time, my husband had gotten laid off of work. I was a teacher, so I was home. I was teaching first grade. I was trying to have first graders go on a computer. So you guys all know how that must have been. So like things were just really out of control. And I really just found myself struggling. Things that used to be important to me were no longer important. I started withdrawing from my friendships, and just, like I said, I just really lost myself. And I knew deep down that something was wrong, but I kept just trying to brush it under the rug. Oh, like everyone goes through this, but it kind of just kept building up and building up. So I finally did seek help, and I was diagnosed with postpartum depression and anxiety. And the reason I talk about this is because during that time that I was going through this, I felt super alone. No one ever talks about postpartum depression and anxiety. Ever. Yet so many people suffer through it. So I really like to be like a spokesperson about it and be open about it because it is very, very common. And during that time, I was prescribed Zoloft. Honestly, I didn't really want to take it, but I kind of felt like I had no choice. I had known about CBD then, but I thought it was weed. And I said, well, I can't function, high, and I didn't want to get the munchies, and I didn't think I could take it. I'm a teacher. I can't do drugs. Even though I kind of like knew a little bit, but I just kind of kept brushing it off. So I was on Zoloft for about 6 months. And to be honest, I still wasn't myself. It helped. But I started to have a lot of negative side effects to it that I won't talk about on a public Zoom. But I started to see a lot of side effects, and it was just not helping. And I noticed a girlfriend of mine posting about CBD. And what honestly really intrigued me was she was giving it to her kids. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. The first time I saw her giving it to her kids, I was like, oh my God, what is she doing? I totally judged her. I was like, I cannot believe she's giving her kids weed oil, because that's what I thought it was. But I continued to see her post about it. And I had sent her a message. I'm like, all right, you got to tell me about this CBD. So she quickly schooled me on the difference between CBD and marijuana. Obviously, marijuana gets you high. CBD doesn't. CBD is all health benefits. And then she sent me the company's story. So Green Compass was actually founded by a mother, Meredith Cook, who saw it, went after, started taking CBD for postpartum depression. So the moment I heard that, I was intrigued. I was like, oh, she had postpartum too. Like, no one ever talks about this. Like, I have a friend. And she started taking it and she found relief. And a few years later, she wanted to give it to her kids, but she could not find a safe product that was out there. And I'm sure you guys are all like this. We all think that, we want to give our kids the best of the best and organic this and this and that. It's like one thing what you put into your body, but your kids, you want to make sure it's safe. So she just kept searching for it and she could not find that safe product. So she had went to her husband, and who was at the time, he was the CEO of the largest sweet potato farm out in North Carolina. She said, we got to do something. We have to figure out how to make a good quality CBD. So they did. They partnered up with some 6th generation farmers who were actually already growing hemp for a North Carolina state pilot program, and insert green compass. So I had heard that story, and I was intrigued. And what really sold me, I'm gonna not have a bottle here. You can kind of see this, but on the bottom of every bottle, there's a QR code. And you can scan this, and when you scan it, it will actually have the third-party lab test results of this particular bottle, which is super important. So I saw this and I was like super intrigued about it. I knew that I wanted to try the broad spectrum because there's no THC in it. Although I was told that you can take the full spectrum, you're not going to get high. I was still super skeptical. I was like, no, thank you. I don't want to get fired from my job. Just give me the broad spectrum. So I did a little bit more research on it, and I really did find that there's tons of benefits to CBD. So after chatting with my girlfriend a little bit more, she had mentioned the business opportunity to me. And right away I was like, oh no, like that is not for me. No offense. I'm not one of those girls, is kind of what I said. I had dabbled in direct sales in the past. I was with like a makeup company for like legit a hot minute, and another health weight loss company for another hot minute. And it just wasn't for me. I was like, I'm not a salesperson like that. I can't do that. But she had mentioned the business kit to me, and she's like, you can get, all these products for basically 50% off, and you don't have to sell. So because I'm a huge discount person, I was like, yes, sign me up for that. I'm always the type of person, it's like, add $30 more into your cart for free shipping. And it's like, add to cart, add to cart, even though shipping's like $5. So I purchased the business kit, and I had no intentions of selling it, but I knew that I wanted to try some of these products. And at the time, it was June. It was the very beginning of June. I was going into a summer of, I was a teacher. I think I mentioned that. Sorry. I was a teacher. I was going into a summer of not getting paid, and my husband was still laid off from work. So I really don't know what possessed me to spend $300, because honestly, like, we really didn't have it, but I was like, oh, it's a discount, why not? So I started to try the products, and within 2 weeks, I started to feel like myself. I felt like that dark cloud that was hanging over my head was finally passing, and that rainbow was finally coming out. I noticed that I started sleeping through the night. Prior to that, I would be like 2 a.m. and I was still staring at the ceiling. I noticed that those crazy to-do lists weren't in my head. I noticed that I wasn't snapping at my husband like I used to. But I actually can pinpoint the day that I really noticed that it started to work. And I always tell people this story, but I was cooking dinner, and it was probably a Tuesday night, because I was definitely cooking some tacos, Taco Tuesday. And I had that like grinder, breaking up my ground beef. And I had a 6-month-old crying on my hip, and my 3-year-old grabbing at my leg, wanting to be held because she was just pissed off that she wasn't getting any attention. And I had some Eric Church blasting on the radio. I don't know if my mom is out there. You probably know, like, cooking dinner is like the most hectic time. And in that moment, I was calm. I grabbed that 3-year-old, and I got 2 kids like this, and I'm singing Eric Church, and I'm dancing around my kitchen, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think that stuff works. And I just felt happy. I felt like me, and I hadn't felt like that in such a long time. But I was still being a skeptic, and I was like, oh, I don't really know. So I started to sell off some of the product that was in my kit. I gave some to some coworkers. I gave some to my mom. I'm here, you got to try this. And they started trying it for different reasons, for depression, anxiety, pain, and they saw relief. And I continuously just felt better every single day. I had more patience. I wasn't yelling at my kids. I was happy to wake up and go downstairs and see my kids and spend the day with them, where I hadn't felt like that in such a long time. So they started having great results, and I was like, you know what? I need to share this. Not only did this product help me go through some postpartum issues, like, it made me become myself again. It was making other people who were having pain or depression, like I said, they started feeling better. And I just felt the need to share it. At the time, I never really posted on social media. I'd post the pictures of my girls here and there, but never ever of myself ever. I had like a glass or maybe 2 or 3 of wine that night, and I put myself out there and I shared my story about postpartum. And honestly, I was blown away by the response I got. I am no influencer. I do not have thousands of followers on Instagram. So when I tell you I had like 10 people like reach out to me, that was a lot. I don't have that many friends. And they reached out to me and they're like, oh my God, thank you for sharing this. You know, I also felt like this. You know, I'm interested in CBD, but does it get you high? Because that's what everybody thinks. There's just not that much education about CBD out there. So next thing you know, I started dabbling in this business, and I had thought, okay, well, maybe I can just make, you know, enough to pay for my CBD a month. I would be content with that. Well, then, you know, a week later I had made that, and I was like, all right, maybe I can pay for my car payment. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. And I kind of just kept upping this goal and just watching this business grow, a business model that I never believed in at all. I really thought it was for bored stay-at-home moms to make a couple $100 a month and harass their friends and family is really what I thought. And I feel like a lot of us think that way because there are so many companies that are doing that wrong. But let me tell you, that is not what I do. I don't have time to stalk people down or harass anybody. I just post about products that are helping me and helping so many others. So honestly, at that point, I started to build this business and started seeing this income that I never thought was possible. And I was like, wow, like I saw one girl quit her teaching job. I saw another girl retire her husband. I'm like, and they've only been in the business for a year and a half. And I'm like, I need to look deeper into this business model. Like there's something up with this. So I did. I started diving in more and finding out why this is such a great opportunity to get into. And I started just sharing. And literally that's all I do. I share. And in 9 months, I was actually able to surpass my teaching income. And I started to think about my future. My first goal with Green Compass was to take my family to Disney. And we're going on Saturday, actually, but it's crazy because that was my first goal, but that goal kind of quickly changed when I saw the bigger picture of this. And one day I was filling out my daughter's preschool paperwork, and to be honest, I started to cry. As a teacher, you miss a lot of those moments being a teacher. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to put my daughter on the school bus when she went to school. I wasn't going to be able to go to this Halloween parade and do all of those things with her because, you know, I have a career teaching. I have to be there for my own students' first day. And on that paperwork, I had to fill out her bus information and where she was going to get picked up at. And it couldn't be my address because I wasn't going to be home. And I kind of just broke down, and I had said to my husband, I said, I am quitting teaching this year and I'm going to do this Green Compass thing full time. And we both kind of laughed at each other. And in 9 months, like I said, I was able to surpass my income, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this. And I quit. I resigned. I put in my like 2 months, because you can't put in 2 weeks. I, you know, stayed for the rest of the year. And in September of this year, I was able to put my baby girl on that bus and get her off the bus and attend the Halloween parade, which I cried my eyes out. People probably thought I was nuts, but I was living my best life. I'm here home with my kids and soaking in all of these memories with them, which I didn't think I was going to get. So Green Compass has allowed me this opportunity to stay home with my babies and not miss any of those first moments. Really simply doing things from my phone in the nooks and crannies of my day, because although I'm home with my kids, I swear I have less time this way because they keep me on my toes nonstop. So I work this business in the nooks and crannies of my day, and it has just been truly, truly rewarding. And one of the best things is getting these text messages from customers or other advocates just telling me how much that I've changed their life. You know, they woke up pain-free today, or, you know, they were able to sleep through the night and they haven't done that in forever. So it's all those crazy moments that just make this business like so amazing. So that is my little spiel on my story. I'm going to pass it off to Bridget.
Thank you, Larissa. I love your story. Every time I hear your story, I like want to cry. Because honestly, I take those moments for granted so often, and will feel the need to be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And when I hear your story, it reminds me of like, wow, I am really lucky that I get to do this. So anyway, hello everyone. My name is Bridget Quigley. I am located in Cinnaminson, New Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia. I am a mother. I have 3 kids. I have 2 boys that are 11 and 6, and a 3-year-old daughter. And I have a husband who works a lot, and I am a family, maternity, newborn photographer. I've been doing that for about 6 years now, and it's a busy business that I absolutely love and I'm grateful to have, but it is very, very time consuming. But I'm really excited you guys are here to hear a little bit about this incredible opportunity and this incredible company, really. Larissa kind of already touched on a little bit of that, but my story kind of begins a little bit similar to Larissa's, actually. I was someone that was absolutely a hater of direct sales, of network marketing. I also thought that this was only for moms that had nothing else to do, that were staying at home, and they were harassing people for a couple $100 a month. But I was always intrigued. And honestly, one day I kind of asked a friend who was not even involved with this company really yet, like, how does this work? What is this? Tell me more. I was just curious. I didn't really need another thing on my plate. I was really busy. I didn't need another thing that was going to take up my time, but I was just curious. And honestly, I didn't even know what CBD was. Like Larissa also said, was it weed? Was it oil? I had no idea. I wasn't really even that interested until I heard that CBD could help with things like anxiety and depression. And, I've been a mother now for, it's crazy to think, my son's 11 and a half. And since he was born, I have had postpartum struggles, mostly anxiety, not over depression. But there have been times where, it's highs and lows, where sometimes it's been really terrible and sometimes where it was manageable. And I've been on medication and I've been off of medication, and I am all for modern medication. I'm not against it by any means, but, I hadn't been on it in a while. And when I had heard about Green Compass, I wanted to try something else before going back on medication. But I knew I needed something. I was hitting that like all-time low. And that was it was like December of 2019. I joined in January of 2020, but that's kind of when I started really, really feel like I was going through it. I had just been finished breastfeeding my daughter. I felt like my hormones were like extra out of whack, and I just was not myself. And I was very, very crazy and irrational. So anyway, when I had heard about CBD and that it could help with things like anxiety, I was like, I have nothing to lose. I will give this a whirl. I mentioned it to my husband. He was very supportive. He immediately kind of started Googling, like, what is CBD? What can this do? He immediately saw the numbers. He's a numbers guy. He's an anesthesia provider. He started asking, his colleagues about CBD, many of whom were already using CBD. Not Green Compass. Many of them are now or will be, but they were already using CBD. And what had caught my husband's attention was the rapid growth in the CBD industry and how CBD was helping tons of different people with different ailments. So I kind of just was like, I'm going to hop into this. I bought a business kit. I didn't really have a big vision or dream. I just started sharing about my journey, sharing about my products that I was taking that were giving me relief, that were giving my husband relief. He doesn't have anxiety or depression, but he has bad back pain, and CBD has really helped him live in less pain. So like Larissa also said, with an industry that is booming, that's having rapid growth, there's a ton of junk on the market. If you don't see CBD everywhere you go yet, you will after tonight. I promise you that. I see billboards. I see it on creepy little like storefronts, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope someone is not buying their CBD there. I see it at Rite Aid. I see it at American Eagle when I'm buying my leggings. CBD is everywhere. So you have to be really careful about where you're buying your CBD, because you need to know what is in that bottle and what is not in that bottle. And, you know, we stand out. We are a transparent company. We have the highest quality of products. We are a trusted brand. And, you know, the bread and butter of our company, I would say, is our tinctures, our CBD oil. But we also have jellies. We have topical pain creams, bath bombs, and skincare. And we just recently released CBDA. And we also just released collagen. I'm going to touch on that in a minute. But, you know, we are a very young company that is growing very quickly. And with these high quality products being health and wellness and in that arena, they are often a necessity for people versus a luxury. You know, when you have products that are helping people feel better mentally, physically, emotionally, it sounds corny, but it is changing their lives and the quality of their life. And something like that is going to create a very unique business opportunity. You know, like I already mentioned, I jumped in for my own anxiety, and my business, you know, it grew pretty quickly because I have a product that people want and people need. But with something like this, with getting involved with a company like this, timing and positioning is very important. We are still a ground level company, and the CBD industry is projected to hit, I think it's like, the number changes every time I look, but I think it's supposed to hit like 20 billion by 2024. We are not just a new company, like this is a new industry. You know, it's not like we're a makeup company and makeup's been around for 50 years. CBD industry was born when the Farm Bill passed, which passed at the end of 2018, making it federally legal to sell CBD in all 50 states. And so, okay, so I'm going to go into a little bit more about like why this is smart from a business perspective. So number one, target market. Every human and every mammal can benefit from CBD because we all have something called an endocannabinoid system, which has receptors for CBD. If you want to learn more about the science behind CBD or how CBD works in the body, whoever invited you here can send you a short little video that will do a beautiful job explaining that. But the point of that, from what I'm trying to share, is that whether you are a woman, a man, a child, an elderly person, a cat, a dog, a rabbit, yes, I have a customer that's a rabbit, a horse, you can benefit from CBD. And it can do wonderful things for you, whether that be provide you with less pain, less anxiety, less ailments, help you sleep through the night. I feel like lately that's something I keep hearing from people, like I can't sleep. I suffer from waking up, insomnia, and this is helping people. Migraines. It's doing wonderful things. Number two, we have a consumable product. Most people that are taking our products are taking them every day. So you are essentially building a business that, you know, you're having customers purchase these products, I would say every month, if not every other. And that is smart because it builds residual income. And then, you know, a lot of your customers are having great results and they're sharing their results with their family and friends. Like this business, a lot of it is just referrals because people are having great results and telling people. It's just natural to say, oh my gosh, I'm finally sleeping. My friend got me this CBD. Thirdly, from a business standpoint, like I already mentioned, it's a booming industry. And now on top of, you know, being involved in the booming CBD industry, we are now involved in the collagen industry. And this is just something that we just tapped into. We had conference in January, end of January, and we released collagen. And collagen is also a booming market. So collagen is a protein that our bodies naturally produce. It makes up a third of the protein in the human body. However, in our mid-20s, most people probably on this call are maybe in your mid-20s, probably older. Maybe if you're not, then, you know, no discrimination or anything. But by the time we're in our mid-20s, we are losing collagen. We produce 1% less collagen each year. And by the time that we're in our 50s, we're actually in collagen deficit. And, you know, things that collagen can help with is dullness of your skin, dryness of your skin, your hair thinning, wrinkles. But it's not just like exterior beauty. It also helps with things like ligaments and joints. So collagen is essentially a really great supplement for the body. And, you know, like the CBD industry, the collagen industry is not regulated. So a trusted brand is super, super, super important. And, you know, we are newer to the collagen industry, but I feel like we are already standing out in the industry. If you do your research on collagen, a lot of the popular brands out there have terrible things in them, like heavy metals and there's another word, I can't remember what exactly it is, but there's just a lot of different kinds of collagen because anyone can just make it and throw a label on it. And I will say that Green Compass does everything the right way. So I know that we are producing the best collagen out there. Ours has 3 different types. It has bovine, marine, and eggshell collagen. And most brands have types, I believe 1 and 3, whereas ours has type 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. I have that written down because I would never be able to remember that. But in addition to that, our collagen also has CBG, which is considered the mother of all cannabinoids. It comes from the hemp plant, and it has benefits to the mind and the body and overall wellness, and also calming benefits for the skin and moisture levels. And then it also has olive leaf extract, which is a very powerful antioxidant. Also 72 trace minerals, vitamins E, C, and biotin. But I'm not here to sell you on the product of collagen, but I want you to know that having that product is absolutely very valuable, having that added to our list. So, if you are interested in being an advocate, there are 3 options to getting involved. Number 1, there's a $50 buy-in. It includes no products, but it gives you a live working website, back office with tons of information, and you are an advocate immediately as soon as you sign on. Outside of that, we have 2 business kits. One is $2.99, one is $4.99. Both include over 50% discount on the products. The larger business kit includes almost our entire product line. And as far as, what's required, there really is no requirements. We pay $10 a month for our back office fee. And outside of that, there is no shipping, there is no inventory, there are no parties unless that's your jam. You can sell things out of your kit to make some of your investment back. And you have all these products to speak on authentically and to try and to share. And it is a 100% virtual business that can be worked from the car, from your couch, from the beach. Like everything else in life, this business, you get out what you put in. But I will say, some people get involved to pay off some debt. Some people just want extra money for a vacation, maybe their child's cheerleading team or private school. The beauty of it is you can do anything in between because there are no requirements. You are your own boss. We are here to mentor you, to guide you. This community is really amazing. We all really help each other out. Larissa and I are technically like sideline partners, and like she's one of my favorite people to talk with and learn from. And I also love that this community is super eclectic. We are so diverse. There are men, mostly women, but there are some men involved. Teachers, photographers, accountants, nurses, stay-at-home moms, yoga instructors, anesthesia providers, pharmacists, like you name it, this can be for anyone. But it's been a major blessing for me. I got involved before the pandemic and my business shut down and I had no idea when I would have an income again. So having another stream of income is super smart. And you can reach out to anyone that invited you here, or Larissa or myself. We are both, an open book. We're one big happy family. We would love to welcome you, get you set up, get you plugged in, ready to go. It's truly being at the right place at the right time. And it's really incredible to be a part of because we are helping people feel better mentally and physically. And now we're also helping change the lives of others, the trajectory of their financial future as well. And I think Larissa might say one more thing, but thank you guys so much. I'm feeling like so excited and red in the face.
I know, I always get so pumped up.
Maybe it's the wine, I don't know.
I want to leave you with this. This is a quote that I heard about, oh my God, I guess like almost 6 months ago or so. And I've actually have it written on my wall. And I don't know if you can see this right away, but the quote is, "Die with memories and not dreams." And I feel like a lot of us have that. We're like, oh, one day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to do that. For me, it was that one day I'm going to take my kids to Disney. Like, guys, Disney is expensive. Oh my God, it is expensive. And I had said that I'm going to take my kids to Disney and we're going to do it big. But at the time when I was trying to plan this, doing Disney is, putting money away every single month and really saving it. what Green Compass has allowed me to do is die with these memories of my kids, where I'm not having to drain my savings account because I have all this extra money with Green Compass to take my kids to Disney and like live our dreams. And I'm always like a big fan of like, well, what if, or what's the worst case scenario? I know that's like terrible, but I always say, all right, like worst case scenario. And I kind of said that when I joined Green Compass. All right, worst case scenario, and this is worst case scenario, guys. You get a huge discount on some amazing kits. That's literally worst case scenario. You're not buying a house or doing anything like that, but best case, you literally can live out your dream, no matter what that would be. And like Bridget had said, I mean, it could be something small or you can go big. When I joined Green Compass, my goal was not to leave teaching. It wasn't at all. I thought I was going to be doing this for the rest of my life. And it has been the absolute best decision that I've ever made. A super hesitant decision that I did. But I am literally living out my dream right now, being home with my kids, about to go to Disney World, like, and not have, to worry about my bank account. And that's always been a struggle. So like I said, worst case scenario, you get this huge discount on some kits. You can even sell off some of the products like I did to recoup some of my money, because I had no right spending $300 then. So we really hope that we see you on another team call soon, and you can lock arms with us. And we can't wait to see what you do with this business, and hopefully you can write out your dreams with us. So thank you guys all so much for coming.
Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks.